welcome to this week's episode of Stencil Play. So this week, Beth and I decided we wanted to play with our watercolor pencils and our stencils. So this is a stencil from Chamel, and I'm going to do something quite similar to what I did last week, kind of, in that I'm going to create some embellishments for my page instead of a background. So I'm using my watercolor pencils here. And these are just very, very inexpensive watercolor pencils. I think I got them for maybe $10 or $12 at a cherry on top, just to play with them. I'd never used them before, and I kind of did this exactly same idea when I worked with my watercolor paints. I bought, a kind of really inexpensive set until I knew that I loved them and that I would use them, and then I got a cheaper set. And what's really nice about that is I can pass the cheaper set down to my youngest son, who happens to love to create art and paint. So I had a lot of fun with these watercolor pencils, and I decided that I really loved this look of the dots, the little polka dot hearts. So that is what I've decided to do. So I'm going to go ahead and create 3 of those hearts that are polka dot. They have little polka dots on them, and I really had a good time. I had fun playing with these watercolor pencils. I think some of them I think they come in different kinds. I've seen people use ones that are a little bit more vibrant than these are, and so I may at some point go ahead and get a new set. I'm not sure, but I'm going to play with these for a while and then decide. If you have a good recommendation for watercolor pencils that are really good, leave me a comment below, because I did enjoy using these. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around each of my hearts with this cotton perler thread. It's from DMC, and I got some on clearance at my Joann's, and now I'm just in love with it. I love it. It doesn't need to be split up. It does this gorgeous texture. It's so pretty. So I'm going to straight stitch, go ahead and back stitch around all the hearts, and then I cut them out around the edges, and I'm going to use those as embellishments on my layout. So this layout is going to use products from many different companies. It's from a homemade stash kit that I put together. I put one together every month and kill it throughout the month. And I just did a video. This is the first month I'm actually kind of keeping track of all of the layouts that I do with it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a kit, like a kill a kit video or something. So if you want to, you can check out my channel for that video and see this whole kit. And then you can see on Wednesday the Kill a Kit video, which will include this layout. So all of my papers here are mostly going to be from Felicity Jane. There's some Echo Park ones in there, and then everything is going to get some Distress ink and Hickory Smoke along the edges. This layout is actually a scrap lift, and I'm going to leave the original, a link to the original layout, in the comments below. This layout is from a good friend of mine, Kathy, who well, like an online friend. She's awesome, though. She actually helped me host a 30 Layouts in 30 Days challenge at a Cherry on Top's message board last month. And so this month I took on a challenge to scrap lift one of her really, really gorgeous layouts. So I decided I would use that for my stencil layout, because it just, the layout I chose to scrap lift looked really, really, looked like it would work, really well with my photo and what I wanted to do. So I'm just creating lots of layers, and for some added texture, this layer here, I'm going to go ahead and rip all 3 of the edges and then ink them up. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little pieces of gray scraps, and I'm going to use them to make homemade tags. So you can see here how I make them. I make my tags probably like I think it's 2.5 inches by 4. I've been doing it for a very long time, so I just kind of eyeball it now. And then I just fold down 2 corners of my rectangle and go ahead and pop a hole in it with my hole puncher, and boom, homemade tags. As long as you make a rectangle, I think you could make pretty much anything a tag, as long as, it was longer than it was wide. And then you could punch a hole in it. And then it makes it really easy just to, you get nice even edges on your tags when you fold over the corners just like that. So that's a really easy kind of fun thing to do with some scraps. So this is going to be the paper that my photo is going to rest on, and I'm going to pull in more of this purple color around the layout, as you'll see. So I'm just going to go ahead and decide on placement, where I want my photo to be, and then I'm going to ink up the edges and go ahead and put my photo down. So next thing I need to work on here is my title. My title is going to be very long. It's actually going to be a quote. I'm going to use multiple alphabet letters on it, lots of different ones. I'm going to start with these Felicity Jane chipboard alphabets. I'm also going to use some small tile letter stickers, and I'm also going to use some black and white stickers from Dear Lizzie. And then because most of my journaling coincides so well with my title, I just went ahead and I put the little bit of journaling I wanted to do along the bottom of my title and also added a date stamp. So my title is rather long, but that's okay, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and place those heart embellishments. And now I'm just going to go through a couple of different embellishments, choose a few that I like, and add some embellishments clusters to my layout. Pretty easy. Really kind of, I wanted the purple hearts to be the star of the layout. I wanted them really to pop off the page, so I kept the rest of the patterns and colors that I used quite light. And I didn't have any problems mixing these purples. I know that sometimes it's hard when you have some purples that are more blue and some purples that are more pink. And right now we have a lot of new collections that have different shades of purple. And I personally, for me, I don't mind having, as long as there's more than one spot. I think if you put, you know, a bluey purple just in one spot, it kind of looks odd. But if you have both the purples kind of spread out, then it looks a lot better. So now I'm just taking a look at my layout and deciding where there are gaps or where there's white space that I need to fill. One of those spots I did notice I needed to fill was below my title and my journaling. So I just grabbed this little awesome word, which is from the Take Me Away collection, and I added it right there. It kind of adds a little bit of something, and that will complete the layout. Woo, that was fast. That came up quick. I hope you have a wonderful day today. I'll see you again next week. Bye.